Henry Ford's life was marked by innovation, perseverance, and an unrelenting belief in his vision. Despite never completing high school, he went on to create one of the most iconic automobiles in history. His ideas were so ahead of their time that even his contemporaries often doubted his ambitions. However, Ford's unwavering dedication paid off, establishing his name as synonymous with the automobile itself and cementing his legacy as one of history's greatest innovators. From bicycles to engines. Henry Ford was born in 1863 on a modest farm in the southeast corner of Michigan. His parents were second-generation immigrants from England and Belgium, and Ford grew up in a family of 5 children. Although he attended school until the 8th grade, he chose to drop out, never progressing to high school. Yet this decision did not dampen his intellectual curiosity. From an early age, Henry exhibited an extraordinary fascination with machines. He would often disassemble devices to understand how they worked, a habit that earned him a reputation among friends and family as a capable tinkerer. His early experiments with machinery even led to small jobs repairing watches for family and neighbors. However, Ford's true interest lay in road engines, a revolutionary technology of the time. Despite his father's hope that Henry would take over the family farm, Ford gravitated toward machinery and innovation, setting the stage for a career that would eventually reshape the world. At 16, Ford left the farm and moved to Detroit to begin an apprenticeship as a machinist. Over the next several years, he honed his skills, developing a deep understanding of mechanical systems. His work with the Westinghouse portable steam engine further broadened his expertise. This role eventually led to a job with Westinghouse itself, where he was responsible for repairing broken steam engines, an essential task during a period of rapid industrialization. In 1888, Henry married Clara Bryant, and the newlyweds moved back to the Ford family farm. However, Ford's passion for innovation couldn't be contained by rural life. Within a year, he returned to Detroit and took a higher-paying engineering job at Edison Illuminating Company. It was here, under the inspiration of Thomas Edison, that Ford began working on his groundbreaking 2-cylinder, 4-horsepower engine. In 1892, Ford completed his first motor car, a modest vehicle capable of reaching speeds up to 20 miles per hour. This marked the beginning of his journey toward automotive innovation, the quadricycle and the leap of faith. Ford's early automotive experimentation culminated in the creation of the Quadricycle in 1896, a self-propelled vehicle powered by ethanol. The contraption resembled a horse carriage, equipped with 4 bicycle wheels and an engine driving the rear wheels. Steering was controlled by a lever, and the vehicle's sale price of $200, around $7,000 in today's currency, made it an expensive but groundbreaking invention. Ford's Quadricycle gained him recognition within the industry, particularly when Thomas Edison himself praised Ford's ingenuity. Inspired by Edison's encouragement, Ford decided to gamble on himself, leaving the security of his position at Edison Illuminating Company. Although Edison offered him a significant raise to stay, Ford remained committed to his dream of creating an affordable, gas-powered automobile. In his quest for funding, Ford secured the backing of investor William H. Murphy, who became instrumental in launching the Detroit Automobile Company. The company's first product, a delivery wagon, failed to align with Ford's vision of creating affordable, high-quality vehicles. Disagreements with investors over strategy led to Ford leaving the company in 1900, less than a year after its inception. Triumph through adversity. Determined to prove his vision, Ford began collaborating with a team of like-minded engineers. Together, they developed a lightweight, high-performance racing car, which Ford himself drove to victory in a race at Grosse Pointe. This win catapulted Ford into the spotlight, attracting attention from prominent investors and cementing his reputation as an up-and-coming innovator in the automotive industry. In 1901, Ford founded the Henry Ford Company. However, disagreements with investors again arose when they pushed for small, mass-market vehicles, while Ford wanted to focus on developing a powerful 4-cylinder racing car. Unable to reconcile these differences, Ford left the company, which subsequently rebranded as the Cadillac Automobile Company. In 1902, Ford partnered with bicycle racer Tom Cooper to create the Ford 999, a powerful car boasting a 100-horsepower engine. The vehicle's success in the Manufacturer's Challenge Cup brought Ford widespread acclaim and the attention of Alexander Malcolmson, a wealthy Detroit coal dealer. The partnership between Ford and Malcolmson led to the formation of the Ford Motor Company in 1903. The legacy begins. With the founding of Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford's career took a decisive turn. The company would go on to revolutionize the automotive industry, fulfilling Ford's vision of creating cars that were not only innovative, but also accessible to the masses. His relentless pursuit of excellence and ability to overcome repeated failures shaped his journey, leaving an indelible mark on history. This is the story of a man whose name remains synonymous with innovation and the automobile itself. Henry Ford, a name synonymous with innovation and industrial success, revolutionized the automobile industry and reshaped the very fabric of modern business. In the early 1900s, Ford's rise to power was marked by fierce competition and internal company struggles. But his unyielding determination and groundbreaking ideas transformed his company into one of the world's most powerful industrial giants. Ford's journey began with the founding of the Ford Motor Company in 1903, alongside partners like Malcolmson and Gray. Despite achieving profits of $37,000 in its first year, tensions were high among the stockholders. Ford's vision for the company clashed with the interests of his partners, particularly Malcolmson. As Ford's ambitions grew, so did his willingness to fight for control. Eventually, after intense conflict, Ford managed to buy out Malcolmson and take full control of the company. This marked the beginning of Ford's dominance in the automotive world. The Ford Motor Company's early success hinged on the release of the Model A in 1903, a two-cylinder automobile that was priced at $750. Although it turned a profit, it faced stiff competition from rival manufacturers like Oldsmobile. Over the next few years, Ford released several models, but none achieved the success of the Ford Model T. The Model T was the turning point for Ford, catapulting the company to global industrial prominence. One of Ford's greatest innovations was his development of the assembly line. In the pursuit of reducing production costs, Ford realized that efficiency wasn't just about improving materials or logistics, it was about optimizing the workforce. In 1913, Ford introduced the moving assembly line, a process that split the production of the Model T into 84 specific tasks. Each worker was assigned a single specialized task, speeding up production and allowing Ford to produce cars at an unprecedented rate. By 1914, Ford was producing a new car every 90 minutes. Ford was innovative in his approach to worker wages. Understanding the repetitive nature of assembly line work, he offered a $5 per day wage, more than double the going rate at the time, to attract workers and ensure a steady workforce. This not only helped reduce turnover, but also allowed workers to afford the very cars they were producing, creating a cycle of increased demand. Ford's commitment to his workers extended further with the introduction of the 40-hour, 5-day workweek in the 1920s, which was revolutionary at the time and became a model for other industries. The success of the Model T had a profound effect on Ford's bottom line. By the time production ended in 1927, over 15 million Model Ts had been sold, making it one of the best-selling cars in history. However, as the company expanded and profits soared, so did the conflicts with stockholders. In 1916, the Dodge brothers, who owned 10% of Ford, took Ford to court. The dispute over dividends saw the Michigan Supreme Court award the Dodge brothers $19 million in dividends, forcing Ford to take drastic measures. In 1919, Ford bought out the Dodge brothers for $125 million, a sum that would be equivalent to $2.24 billion today. This acquisition gave Ford full control of his company, which was now firmly under his grip. Under Ford's leadership, the company expanded rapidly. Ford acquired the Lincoln Motor Company and expanded its reach internationally to countries like Brazil, Germany, and the Soviet Union. However, Ford's political and business practices would become controversial, especially his ties with Nazi Germany. During the 1930s, Ford's German operations supported the Nazi regime, and he even refused to produce military equipment for the Allies in World War II. This dark chapter in Ford's history would forever complicate his legacy. As the world plunged into war, Ford's son Edsel Ford took charge of the company. Unlike his father, Edsel was more aligned with the war effort and oversaw the production of military vehicles for the United States. Edsel's leadership, however, was short-lived as he tragically died from stomach cancer in 1943. Henry Ford continued to lead the company until his death in 1947, leaving behind a complex legacy. At the time of his death, Ford's net worth was estimated to be $200 billion, but his company faced significant financial challenges as the war had taken a toll on the global economy. After Henry Ford's death, his grandson, Henry Ford II, took over the company. Despite the company's difficulties in the post-war period, Henry Ford II reorganized the leadership, brought in new talent, and steered Ford toward global success. The company introduced the iconic Ford Mustang in the 1960s and became a major player in both the automotive and motorsport industries. By 1956, Ford became a publicly traded company, raising the equivalent of $7 billion in today's terms. In the 21st century, Ford faced new challenges and opportunities. The company shifted its focus toward eco-friendly vehicles, introducing fuel-efficient engines and hybrid models like the Ford Escape Hybrid. Under the leadership of William Clay Ford Jr., the company continued to innovate and remain competitive, ensuring that Ford Motor Company remained a vital part of the global automotive industry. Today, Ford's legacy is undeniable. The company is valued at approximately $125 billion and continues to thrive under the leadership of the Ford family. Henry Ford's vision changed the world, not just through his cars, but through his approach to production, labor, and innovation. The impact of his ideas continues to influence businesses worldwide, making Ford one of the most significant figures in the history of modern industry.